Hey, this is John Cena, and you are watching this WWE Fan 13.
Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video, as you guys see in the title down below, it is a WWE story time on how I became a WWE fan. This was very requested by a lot of you guys. You guys have been waiting to hear the story, and I was going to answer it in a Q&A a couple months ago, but I decided I wanted to wait and make it a whole story time video because, you know, it should be. It's a big part of this channel because if I would never became a WWE fan, there would be no Miss WWE Fan 13, obviously. So, yeah, with that being said, let's get the story time started. So we have to go back in the past, probably like 18 years ago. Basically, the first time I ever saw a wrestling match or even knew wrestling existed was in like 2000 when I was 4 years old. My mom used to work in a hospital on the weekends because both my parents are nurses. And so my mom would drop me off at my grandma's house, and she would watch me during the day and stuff. And you know, my grandma had a bunch of VHS tapes, all random VHS tapes. And then, you know, there was also in her apartment area, there was like a place where you could like rent VHS tapes and stuff. But in her actual house or her apartment, you know, she had what is it called, like a little basket, and there was like random VHS tapes in there. And you know, I started pulling them out, and on the VHS tape, usually on the little, there's like a little white piece of paper and it'd say what it was. Most of them were in Spanish because my grandma spoke Spanish, but one of them was not. So since it wasn't in Spanish, I decided to put it in and watch it. And it said like Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio, and it, like, that's all it said. And so now thinking back to it, I'm assuming that VHS tape actually belonged to my aunt, which is my grandma's sister. But anyways, when I put in that VHS tape, it had only one wrestling match on it, and as you guessed, it's Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio and Halloween Havoc 1996. You know, that match was awesome, but to me at the time, I didn't know what wrestling was. No clue. I didn't care about it. So I watched it, and you know, it was whatever. I didn't turn it off right away. I watched the whole thing. But after I watched it, I put it away and never gave wrestling a second thought. I didn't say, oh, I gotta go watch, is it on TV? Are there more tapes like this? Like, I didn't care. So, and as I got a little older, like a few weeks later, a few months, you know, years, I started realizing my brother had a Nintendo 64 game of wrestling. I don't remember which game it was. It was just for the Nintendo 64, that's all I know, because it's a very brief memory I have. And then when he got a PlayStation 1, he got a WWE game, or WWF, sorry. It has like Stone Cold on the cover. I still have the game to this day. It's actually over there. And you know, he would always be playing the Nintendo 64 game or the PlayStation 1 game with my next door neighbor at the time, Fernie. They would always play because Fernie loved wrestling. And you know, I would always watch them play. I would play sometimes because I didn't want to be left out. Obviously, as a little kid, you don't want to be left out of anything. But even playing those games, I didn't really care. It just, all I cared about was basketball and Disney. I didn't care about anything else. Wrestling was just something that was there to me. And so, you know, weeks went on, and I remember one time, I don't remember how old we were, but I went to my neighbor's house, Fernie, and he was watching an ECW pay-per-view. And I'm talking original ECW, like when Paul Heyman ran it and stuff, like that time. Not the ECW when WWE bought it. And I remember seeing Kevin Thorne and, well, I'm pretty sure WWE probably already owned it, but when it was like legit ECW, there was like Kevin Thorne, and I don't remember what he was doing or who he was fighting. But I remember I told Fernie, I was like, do we have to watch this? Like, I don't want to watch this. I'd rather watch a Disney movie or watch another movie. I don't know. And he's like, yeah, please, it's like pay-per-view. I want to watch it, whatever. And I was like, all right. So I sat there, just ate some popcorn, you know, watched it because he was my best friend. So obviously I was going to watch it if he wanted to watch it. But even then, it did not make me want to be like, oh, let's see if, like, I didn't make me want to say like, ask when the show was on. I didn't want to watch it. I was just watching it because he wanted to. And so years went on. We ended up, when I was 9, we ended up moving over to the west side, which is where I live now. And you know, still didn't care about wrestling. I remember my mom, we finally got a computer that I could use, And so I remember going on YouTube and I would see wrestling stuff pop up. You know, I would see some matches. I saw some matches like Yokozuna versus Bret Hart. You know, I watched them, and you know, my interest started getting a little more and more. And then, you know, I started seeing promos with Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero when they were Los Guerreros. Like, one of the ones that come to my mind the minute that kind of sparked my interest in wrestling is the one where they went to the pool and they pretended to be able to clean the pool and then throwing a big party and stuff. That was a big one that just made me like, oh, like, you know, Eddie's cool, you know. And then Rey Mysterio, and then they had the whole, all that stuff, you know. That's what started getting my interest. And you know, since then I didn't understand that it was on TV and stuff. I don't know, it's hard to explain. I didn't know how to watch it, where to watch it, so I depended on YouTube to be able to watch matches. But I didn't watch a lot of the current stuff at the time. I watched all the old stuff. Like, I would see like Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart. I knew who all they were before I knew the current people in WWE at the time. So then I remember one time my dad, he used to be the manager of one of the buildings or one of the units in the hospital, I can't remember, but they would send him to travel. And one time he would take me on his trips a lot to like Austin and stuff, but this one time he got sent to South Padre Island, which is like in the bottom of Texas, and they have like water and stuff in the ocean. And so my dad was like, well, let's go to South Padre Island. So I was like, okay. So we went, and you know, we spent the whole day at the beach. And when we got back to the hotel after I took a shower and stuff, we were gonna get ready to go to bed, but my dad was gonna watch TV. And so he was just scrolling through the TV, you know, skipping channels, and he stopped on SmackDown. And I remember Booker T was with his wife Sharmell, I think that was her name, on TV, you know, talking, whatever. I think he was the world heavyweight champion at the time. And you know, and he started watching it, and I started watching it, and I was like, oh, this is WWE, like, this is what I've been watching on YouTube. So, you know, we watched the whole episode. And from that moment, watching it with my dad, I got instantly hooked. I got home, I asked my dad, like, what channels are these on? When can I watch them? Like, when are the TV shows? So he looked, he told me that they're on Mondays and Fridays. And ever since then, I watched it every single week. And occasionally, he would let me buy a pay-per-view. He would tell me you can buy like 2 to 3 a year, and you have to choose which ones you want. So usually I would pick the Rumble, I would pick WrestleMania, and then I would pick a random one that like maybe Cena had a huge match or Rey Mysterio had a huge match. And that's kind of how it went on for a few years until now. You know, he took me to my first WrestleMania. My dad took me to my first WrestleMania, which was WrestleMania 26 in Phoenix. Him and my mom have helped me go to many shows, and I did my Make-A-Wish with John Cena, and now I have this channel, and now I get to talk about something I really love. As you guys can see, I love it a lot if you look around my room, and I get to make money off of it. And it's just crazy that something that I could not care less about, did I say that right? Could not care less, I guess. Now I'm actually absolutely obsessed with it, and I'm doing it as a job, like talking about it. So that's just crazy to me. I don't know, it's strange. I can't even describe how weird it is, but that is how I became a WWE fan, guys. And obviously, as you guys see, things haven't changed. I'm still just obsessed with it as I was the minute that my dad was watching it that night when we were in South Padre Island. So yeah, guys, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's story time. I try to tell the story as best as I can. A lot of the stuff I was trying to talk about, it's very, very like, it's like a very like cloudy memory, I guess you can say, especially going through the chemo. It makes my memory even like, it makes things even harder to remember. So I tried my best. I made notes and stuff, but like I said, guys, if you enjoyed, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you watch yesterday's video as an unboxing. And guys, vlogs are finally back up on my channel, on my second channel, Official K13. So right now a card will pop up to my most recent vlog, so make sure you go check it out, guys. I'm trying to start vlogging again, especially because I'm going to Disneyland next week, and I want to vlog the whole experience and show you guys, and also so I can have those memories of trips with my parents. So yeah, with that being said, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.
Are you a supporter of the Marine Corps?
Absolutely.
Great, because a former decorated member of the United States Marine Corps needs your support.